Hello YouTube, once again, and I will be giving you guys another video of the D-Rank Warriors. Today we'll be going over HAXORUS. As you can see here is the last Pokemon we'll be covering for Dragon for the D-Ranks. So let's take a little look into see why HAXORUS is D-Rank and what sets we can use. So as you can see here, HAXORUS has a pretty decent stat spread, no special attack, but why do you need special attack when you got such a good physical attack stat with 147, which is pretty good for a Pokemon, a regular Pokemon that's non-legendary. 97 speed stat is a little underwhelming, makes it 322 as you can see here, and that makes him slower than base 100s, or 328 that is. And that can be really annoying, especially against certain Scarfers with your Dragon Dance, because, for example, last generation, Victini could just come in and revenge kill you sometimes, if even if you did a Dragon Dance. Basically annoying Pokemon like that. In this gen, just Jirachi for the most part is like one of the main people. Jirachi and Terrakion are big major threats that still outspeed this thing after one Dragon Dance. So essentially what can happen when you do a Dragon Dance is that they predict the Dragon Dance and then they go into the Revenge Killer, and then because you have very not good bulk, you'll probably get O-Code. But generally that doesn't happen very often because that takes a really heavy prediction and you still hit like a truck. So if they guess wrong, they can get really punished for it, depending on your set. Speaking of sets, the first set I'll be showing you guys is basically the standard Dragon Dance set with Lumberry. You can also use Life Orb if you want to further boost your power, or you can also use, and I don't see this very often, but Dragon Fang, which allows you to boost your power if you're outrageous without chipping you down or locking you into a move, essentially. And while that is all nice and good, you can also use Expert Bell, but you don't really hit. Well, you do hit quite a few Pokemon super effectively thanks to Mold Breaker here, which is another reason why this Pokemon is pretty good. Uh, it allows you to ignore the abilities of other Pokemon, which is very key in this generation because, as you know, there's quite a few prevalent levitators, namely the Rotom Appliances and Galarian Weezing. And being able to Earthquake freely on Galarian Weezing or one of the Rotom Appliances is always really good, especially against some teams, because some teams solely rely on their ability to levitate over ground type moves, and HAXORUS completely negates that. On top of that, it's also still really threatening, and after a Dragon Dance, it can tear apart teams in the late game, especially if they don't have a Mon that's faster. So these moves right here, you have his main stab, which is Outrage. You can also use Dragon Claw if you don't want to get locked into a move, but I feel like Outrage is worth it on this Pokemon because of his insane attack power. You also use Earthquake for the reasons I mentioned before. There's not a lot of Pokemon that can like come in on it, and yeah, basically not a lot of Pokemon can come in on it. And Close Combat allows you to hit most Steel types in the tier. Unfortunately, it has low PP, but it is able to help against Pokemon like Corviknight, for example, who otherwise walls you without Close Combat. And if you're wondering if he has a fire move, well, no, he doesn't have a good fire move that he can use. But in this generation, he did get Close Combat, which was a nice buff. As you can see, he doesn't have to use Superpower, which lowers his attack. And now you can instead use a move that doesn't lower his attack and allows him to sweep more with his fighting move. But yeah, I already have a team. I forget which item I have on this one, but we'll probably end up changing it based on what I need. The other set we can use is the Choice set, and this one has Outrage, Earthquake, First Impression, and Close Combat. As most of you know, HAXORUS got First Impression this generation, and this is big because it allows you to hit a lot of Pokemon that would otherwise outspeed you. For example, last generation, Latios would commonly switch in on you on the Dragon Dance and then revenge kill you with Draco Meteor. This happened so many times, but now HAXORUS has a move that hits Latios and kills it instantly. Unfortunately, Latios is not in this generation, but it is still useful for other Pokemon. namely other psychic types like Gardevoir if it's weakened, and a few dark types in the tier as well. So I can't name any examples off the top of my head, but it is very useful for those Pokemon. Hydreigon is actually a good example to bring up as something First Impression can OHKO. But yeah, a Choice Band with this attack stat, and especially with the super effective move with First Impression, it's 90 base power, which is really good. Yeah, you can essentially destroy a lot of Pokemon just through that, and they might not even know you're set. So they could try and switch out, and then you end up turning out to be the Dragon Dance set. And that can end very poorly for them, especially if they don't have a proper Pokemon to wall it. So this Pokemon can be very dangerous on paper, but the reason why it's so weak and you don't see it a lot is because there's better Dragon Dancers out there. Especially on Dragon, you got Kyurem Black, which has better stabs. You also have Hydreigon, which is just a better attacker in general, and there's just a lot of faster Dragon types that you can use. For example, let's take a look through Dragon's repertoire here, and you can see that, like I said, we already mentioned Kyurem Black. We also have Como, if you want to use that as a physical attacker. But yeah, I think I mentioned in the last video that there are a lot of physical attackers on Dragon, and that HAXORUS is one of the few ones that are very good. But in this generation, Dragon doesn't really need that many physical attackers because of how good its special attackers are this gen, especially since it now has Duraludon and Hydreigon still. But yeah, even though it's a good physical attacker, especially for Dragon, it's not necessarily needed, and because of its low speed and it getting outsped by a lot of common Pokemon, you don't see it that often because of that. So that's why it's D rank, or at least that's why I theorize it's D rank right now. While it does have a lot of power, and its trade-off is pretty powerful, its niche is that it's too niche in order to be used effectively on like most teams. Because while it is powerful, it's slow. Well, it's not even in theory slow, it just gets outsped by a lot, and it's also pretty frail. And it's pretty prediction heavy, and you have to be careful with how you use it, especially in a mirror, especially against Fairy. And it doesn't really offer that much up besides just being straight up Dragon Spam, so yeah, that's why HAXORUS probably isn't ranked higher on the viability rankings, but we will go on the ladder today and see if maybe that should change. And yes, we will be doing a live game with this team I crafted right here. So on this team, we have the Choice Band set, which I feel would be very good, along with Kyurem Black with a substitute and Dragon Dance, Choice Scarf Dragavolt, Sash Como as per usual, Choice Scarf Duraludon, and Noivern with actually, I don't need Tailwind on this team, even though it would support HAXORUS a lot. I'm going to put on Flamethrower instead, just so that we can hit Steel types a little bit better, and so we aren't completely reliant on Dragapult to do that. So without further ado, let's get on the ladder and do a few games. Let me get on my proper ult before doing that. Alright, so our first game is going to be the Dragon Mirror, and this is going to be a pretty interesting match, seeing as we don't have particularly a lot of options. We have Scarf Dragapult, which is good for us, but yeah, we're going to lead with this whether we like it or not, and he also has HAXORUS, so that's pretty cool. I think our first move here is definitely to use Stealth Rock and be able to chip these Pokemon down efficiently. So I think that's pretty key here. If he ends up Dragon Dancing, we probably outspeed later on because of, yeah, so this is fine. because body press is like really good. And once again, you're going to see HAXORUS' main issue, and that he can't outspeed common choice scarfers, such as Dragapult right here. So yeah, I'm going to end up Draco Meteoring this HAXORUS right here. We do connect, that is good. There's a chance that Shadow Ball probably did just as much, but I didn't want to take that risk. Now we'll send in, so he's probably going to use a Dragon Pulse, or something like that. So we're going to end up having to sack something. So I'll take the risk and go Noivern. And we can also find out its item. It's Assault Vest. And it used Ice Beam. Interesting. So we're going to sub, see what else he has on here for Kyurem. He has Focus Blast. Alright. We'll use Icicle Spear. Hopefully we get 3. We do get 3, and we get rid of him. Alright, so this match is going by pretty well for me right now. He sends in Dragapult. Dragapult is probably going to use Draco Meteor, so I'm gonna sack Duraludon just so I don't get killed by that. Oh, he tried to go for Disable, and he's also not Scarf. So that means I get a Draco Meteor for free here. Dracovish is gone now. Alright, he sends in Hydreigon. Hydreigon's most likely Scarf, so I'm just gonna have to end up sacking. Duraludon anyway. Hydreigon was not Scarf. Interesting. Also, he didn't OHKO Duraludon, which means it's definitely not Specs. So, it's not Leftovers, and it's not Specs. So, I'm gonna guess it's probably E-Belt. Regardless, I think I'm going to have to... Alright, I think I'm gonna go Dragapult. I don't want him to predict and get me with, because he's not Scarf. Alright, we're just gonna stay in. Alright, he's Heavy Duty Boots Kyurem. Alright, we're gonna go into our Kyurem just to see what he's up to. Alright, we're gonna Icicle Spear here just to try and threaten out his Kyurem. We get 1 crit and 4 hits, so we get very lucky, very lucky. Doesn't happen very often. So Kyurem is as good as dead here, so I might as well just kill him. Since we know he isn't Scarf, I might as well just spam Shadow Ball and we win the rest of the game. Oh, he survives. I was not expecting that. Alright, that could have gotten very bad, but we do end up taking the win there. Unfortunately, HAXORUS did not do a single thing, but you'll see later on that he indeed is able to do stuff. So let's load up another match. But yeah, in that matchup, HAXORUS couldn't do that much, besides like maybe get a cheese kill on Hydreigon, and even then would have just ended up having to get sacked. In this matchup, however, HAXORUS is going to be able to do a lot, especially with his Choice Band set. It might be able to destroy this thing if it gets out of control. So let's take advantage of that. Send out Duraludon first, because Como is going to get walled by Hatterene. He sends out Mew. I don't know why he sends out Mew here, but I'm gonna guess he's maybe a lead set. well, generally it's going to be a set that I don't like, so I'm going to send out Dragapult hard, because he probably doesn't have knockoff, judging by the rest of his team. Okay, let's see what he does. Because I don't know what his set is, and I don't want to sacrifice Duraludon because of Gardevoir. He has knockoff, unfortunately, and he gets rid of my Choice Scarf. He's also very bulky, and I lost my Dragapult. That's not good, and I misplayed there for sure. But we're going to be able to use HAXORUS here, and click First Impression should instantly kill Mew. And there's not a lot of other mons that can switch into this, besides Bronzong, which is probably what he's going to switch into. Or not. Mew can just die. Yeah, even he was taken aback by HAXORUS' almighty power. Fortunately, I did misplay a little bit, so this is going to still be a little bit hard for me to win. Let's see if I can force in his Hatterene. Alright, he isn't sending in his Hatterene, and unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to have to sack Como, but if he's not going to do it, yeah. So I probably should have pressed Stealth Rock the first time, but I thought he was going to send in Hatterene. He didn't, unfortunately. So we'll just First Impression again. It will definitely kill Malamar. I don't care if he has +1, he's going to die. He should send in Bronzong, but again, he doesn't. Alright, and Hatterene's going to claim a kill here, so I'll just give him Noivern. The Hatterene has a Focus Sash. That's not good. Alright, well, because we know he has Focus Sash, we know we have to Icicle Spirit here, because then we won't kill. This is still not a very good position for me. We're in a very uncomfortable position right now. We only get 2 hits, of course. Well, we got lucky the last game, so I guess that's just karma. Alright. We hit him with a crit, and yeah, he should have gone into this a long time ago. But yeah, now we're going to send out HAXORUS again. We're going to do Earthquake here because he literally can't switch in. Kills his Bronzong. He can't switch in Hatterene. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to, and probably lose this now because he sent in Gardevoir. And unfortunately, HAXORUS cannot, Duraludon can't switch into a Moonblast. If only that thing had more bulk, and I would have probably been able to win this game. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. So we're going to have to pray that somehow we kill all 3 of these Pokemon in one fell swoop. And we do not kill Gardevoir. Truly an unfortunate game. I feel like we definitely could have won that, especially if I didn't sack Dragapult in the beginning, but it is what it is. But at least we showed what HAXORUS can potentially do, and just how disgustingly good his power is. But yeah, I misplayed that game. I didn't play Dragapult properly, and I ended up killing him for no reason, where I should have just sent out Como. But yeah, let's do another game. hopefully I play this one a little bit better. Alright, so we get a bug team. Interesting. So we're going to lead Como no matter what, because obviously Gavantula cannot taunt me, and he also cannot do anything to me likewise. So we're just going to taunt him. Sends out Frostmoth. Frostmoth does not do anything to me. Well, actually it does kill me, but I don't care. We click body press here because Frostmoth is very frail. It does a lot, as I expected. So I have Overcoat on this thing, mainly because main reason I have Overcoat is so that I don't get sleep powdered by Roserade and Venusaur, which has been popping up a lot recently, I've seen, so that's why I've been having that. Okay, he turned on timer. I am taking quite a bit because I'm trying to explain, but yeah, he's probably defog on this thing, because I swear every single bug main is defog on this Pokemon, so we're gonna send a Duraludon, spam Flash Cannon. I don't want to spam a Draco Meteor, because Frostmoth will probably survive that. Flash Cannon kills, as expected. Now we have to... Alright, so he sends out this Pokemon. We're gonna switch into HAXORUS, because he doesn't have an Ice move in this game. We get to claim a kill here, I believe. Probably not using Outrage. I probably don't want to use Outrage. Actually, no. Using Outrage might be fine here, even though Escavalier exists. Nah, I think I'll just stay safe so I can keep my HAXORUS, because he can do a lot more later on. He hard switches into Escavalier anyway. Good thing I did that, because now I'm not locked into the move. It may have a lot of power, but it's not breaking through this guy, and then he'll get O-Code later on. Actually, I think I might have 2 KO'd him. That might have been a misplay. Probably was. But we'll send out the Duraludon because Iron Head is obvious here. Okay, he doesn't do Iron Head. That's weird, but he'll do something. I can't switch out of this mod because I'm gonna get O-Code. Or I'm not, because he's a Leftovers? I don't know what the set is, but we're gonna find out soon. Alright, he sends out Scorch, so I probably should have switched out in the first place. We'll send out Noivern and pray that a Hurricane hits. Really should just use Air Slash on this thing. Yeah, we're gonna use Hurricane. Probably won't hit. Alright, well the Hurricane hit somehow, and we're gonna use Flamethrower here. Alright, so he's gonna try and probably double into Scorch to try and catch me off guard. So we're gonna Hurricane again, just to try and catch his Scorch. He doesn't send in Scorch for some reason, despite that being the obvious play. And I use Hurricane, it kills. I think that means I got lucky. So that's pretty scummy. I've gotten very lucky today. I am minus defense, so I probably may or may not get killed by this, because he took damage from rocks, so we know he's not heavy duty boots. There's a good chance that he is choice banned, so I might go into Duraludon just to take that. Based on that damage, I don't know, I can't tell if it's choice banned or not, but I'm gonna go with probably not. We're gonna spam Draco Meteor for free here. This picks up a kill. Galvantula is dead. Now Excelgor is in, and I'm pretty sure he's going to try and use Final Gambit on me, so I'm going to use Dragapult and immune that. Alright, so no Final Gambit, but Focus Blast is equally as bad. And he forfeits. So yeah, fortunately all HAXORUS did was just like threaten his Pokemon. He could have played a more dangerous role in the game. He definitely was a big threat because he could have outraged. But I ended up wanting to play it safe because while his power is ridiculous, and it probably did kill this Escavalier set, because I don't know what he's running on this set. But yeah, he could have definitely killed. And he was definitely a huge threat to like the majority of his team. But yeah, we'll do one more game. And then we'll make our conclusions on how decent HAXORUS is. But yeah, while we wait for a game, I'll talk a little bit about uh, how I feel Dragon is in general, because Dragon's a pretty solid type, and we get Ice as I talk about how Dragon's a solid type. He has a Sneasel, but it doesn't matter that he has like a Sneasel or like a Frostmoth, because I still lose this whether I like it or not. Duraludon can bring this back, but it's going to be pretty difficult to do that. I can spin block his Avalugg, and I can try and, yeah, I can still win this, but it's going to be pretty difficult, especially because of Cure in Black. So, we're going to have to play this exceptionally well. Let's do this. So we go Como first. He sends in his Darmanitan, so I just click Stealth Rock, obviously. So he's going to get screens up first thing. Or is he going to Moonblast? I don't know. Okay, he screens. He somehow survives that, and Duraludon is nearly dead. I should probably not kill this thing off. So I'm going to send out Como. He's going to do that thing to me. He has Light Clay, obviously. I'll just click Flamethrower. Alright, so we know he's Choice Scarf now. Oh, I have Infiltrator, so screens don't mean anything to me. Definitely want to click Fire Blast here. Hopefully we hit. Alright, Darmanitan is gone. Alright, we're going to have to do some switches. Yeah, we're going to have to kill this thing off. He's going to try and DD twice, because that's the only way he wins. But Steel Beam should kill. Alright, come on. Oh, I outsped him. I was definitely not expecting that. Alright, so Dragapult should win the rest of this game with Fire Blast. Yeah, he wins the rest of this game with Fire Blast, so let's just use him. I should eviscerate this thing, but you know what? We'll check before we do that. So, Dragapult, Choice Scarf versus Frostmoth. Fire Blast does not kill. Uh-oh. That's not good. I think we can still win, even if we do end up killing this, but... I do want to be careful about this. What does he get at +1? So when he gets to +1, he's 376, so we still outspeed him after Scarf, so... Yeah, we'll just double into HAXORUS, because I don't want to take that risk. Alright, he clicked Ice Beam, thank God. I don't want to risk the miss on Fire Blast, so we'll just go with the riskless move. And start clicking Dragon Dance. Alright, let's go to Fusion Bolt, because that obviously kills here. Alright, this game's looking good, and he forfeits. We managed to win a really hard MU. Alright. Unfortunately, all HAXORUS did in this match was just get sacked, but, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, he's not gonna do that much this match. He won't do that much this match. I mean, he might be able to revenge kill Darmanitan or any of these Pokemon when they get weakened, which definitely is valuable, but that's if we were playing now the long game, and this is a very quick and offensive game, so he was not going to be able to do that. But I am very happy to announce that he is pretty decent, and I feel like he might be ranked a little bit low, but we'll compare him to the other ones later. But yeah, we'll talk about him later. But yeah, let's look at the other ranks. So I think my final conclusions on HAXORUS would be that HAXORUS is pretty decent. I do feel like he's one of the better physical attackers in this generation. I mean, obviously Kyurem Black is like the best one. There's no one that's as good as him, but I feel like he's pretty decent. Definitely pairs up well with the rest of the dragons. I feel like he's definitely better than Dracozolt for sure. He's way more consistent and can definitely help bring more games and be more pivotal in like even MUs. I feel like Dracozolt is just way too risky to use compared to HAXORUS. And honestly, I could see him going to C rank with Dracovish, considering that they're both like insanely powerful. But they do have to be careful with like prediction heavy stuff, because both of these Pokemon are very prediction heavy, and it'd be frustrating if you just didn't win because of a bad prediction. So that's why I feel like HAXORUS could probably possibly go up to C rank. I hope that the council at least watches this video and like gets informed of like why I think this. But yeah, HAXORUS to C, I could see that. But I could also see why they don't, because HAXORUS obviously has a lot of weaknesses that I did highlight throughout this video, like the lack of bulk, sometimes just not being fast enough to do anything, and just a lot of other plethora of issues. But in general, I think this mod is pretty nice, and I had a very good time using him. He's very easy to build around. I feel like this mod could be very good. And those are my final thoughts. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys think that HAXORUS is pretty good. See you all next time.